12.09. That was the patch heard all around the world. The death of all Neon mains. No more Neons perma jumping around with a shotgun in your face. Freedom at long last. Valorant was at peace. The ridiculous 80% pick rate of Neon during stage 1 was no more. Instead, a calm 32. Wait, what? 32? That's a little higher than I thought. Whatever. A calm 32% pick rate at London. And then what the hell? 60%? We're back in the Neon meta, aren't we? Neon is fundamentally the best and most consistent space creator in all of the game, because she can wall up and run in to clear corners without a care of being shot. And if anyone does actually try to challenge her, she can just slide away to get a favorable fight. But even beyond that, due to her constantly recharging energy meter, she can always run in, opposed to Jet, Raze, and Waylay, who can only use their movement abilities once per round, whether that be for an exec or to get out of a sticky situation. Thus, she is the best entry duelist for many maps. With the nerfs in 12.09 only impacting Neon's gimmicks in shotguns and TikTok Neon movement, her fundamental strengths remain untouched. So Neon is definitely still broken. But the asterisk from the title card, you may be wondering, what does that mean, Val? The asterisk is that Neon is only broken for the teams that properly utilize her. To illustrate this, we need to look at non-mirror win rate in relationship to her pick rate. For reference, non-mirror win rate is how often an agent wins when one team plays the agent and the other doesn't. In stage 1, Neon had about an 80% pick rate, and as such, her non-mirror win rate stood at 48%. Despite this being her most broken form by far. That's because everyone was playing her, meaning those who didn't play her often had good anti-strats for the Neon, or they were just a better team who led the meta, such as with Paper Rex on Lotus. Then, at London, most teams dropped her on most maps, except for Leviathan, a team that is really good at Neon. As a result, her non-mirror win rate at the event was 61.3%, with a pick rate of only 32%. For reference, Lev had an 83.3% non-mirror win rate with Neon, while also making up nearly 40% of non-mirror Neon maps. Then, at the very prestigious Esports World Cup, teams saw Lev's success, and as a result, her pick rate went up to 60%, causing her non-mirror win rate to drop to 48.6%. So what makes the good Neon team so good at Neon? Well, like everything in life, it has to do with both the big and the small. In other words, macro and micro. Macro is the big stuff, game plans and ideas, while micro is the small stuff like individual shooting and team play. In terms of Neon players, the micro, admittedly, some of it you actually just can't teach. Like, who else hits the shot? But some of it you can teach, like util timings, which is really important for an entry Neon. Take a look at this round from Lev against Paper Rex.
A little bit broke. Turn the pace though. Look at Spikesy.
Spikes in. Straight through towards CT. The man enamored with taking the space. Divine now right on the chopping block here.
Lev is going for a fast B exec. Spikes walls up and makes use of the wall not in the way you'd typically expect a Neon to, going in between the two lanes. Rather, standing fully on one side of the wall, using it like a harbor or a phoenix wall. He has an incredible stun to stop anyone from peeking out market, while also hitting logs to make it harder for anyone playing there to shoot him, while the second bounce lands stairs. Envy, trying to avoid the stun, tries to retreat to CT, but Spike's Zine knows the timing of the stun to slide in and kill Envy before he's ready for the fight. Then, with the rest of the team flooding out with a drone, Spikes perfectly plays off of the tag to kill Devi, ending the round. Macro, like I said, has to do with the overall game plans around Neon. There are 3 main elements of macro on attack side for a Neon being successful. These are letting the Neon take a lot of opening duels, setting up the Neon to win as many first duels as possible, and being able to play around the space Neon creates even when she doesn't get a kill. When you compare first kills per round over first deaths per round, first kills per round plus first deaths per round, and first deaths per round with attack side win rate when running Neon, you can see the correlation of good macros and attack side success. Obviously, when your Neon is getting more first kills, it benefits the team a lot because of the numbers advantage. and as such, the line of best fit is positive, meaning there's a correlation between getting more first kills than first deaths and winning attack sides. The again positive correlation of first kills per round plus first deaths per round with attack side win rate with Neon shows that you want your Neon taking fights, which again makes sense. On Duelist, you're supposed to be taking the first engagements and creating space for the team's success. On a Duelist, you aren't supposed to bait, right? Not criticizing any player in particular for that comment, of course. Finally, comparing first deaths per round with attack side win rate allows us to see teams with good macro around playing with the space Neon creates. With good macro, dying a lot still helps the team to win the attack rounds, due to the space that's created. But what you'll notice here is that the line of best fit is a lot more flat, because some teams, KC, have the Neon die a lot but are unable to capitalize off of the space made from the death, making it basically worthless. So clearly all of these elements of macro are very important, but to see what good macro looks like in the actual server, we'll be looking at two of the most successful teams, ones that were always above the line of best fit, and ones with attack side win rates greater than 50%, Lev and 100 Thieves. The two rounds I'm about to play for you show a big fundamental difference between a team that understands how to play around Neon and one that doesn't.
You're going towards this blue man.
Oh, that Phoenix Molly is really doing them a number here. As RQ looking to dive into the site. Beautiful little spray control from Asuna, and the curveball's even better. Up inside of the dark cover. Crazy Guy has TP'd back lines. They're very much trying to give Asuna the ace here. Reloads the Phantom and he'll get it done. Beautiful.
Tex just coming back pillar, faces forward, is able to find one Sabatino. Dead again, the push in, and Verno is able to find that elimination, but Bang says thank you very much for the gun. Checking over towards B side, but swings it! And has him lined up! Elspeth in second, both gonna be knocked out of the park as Mazzino tries to steady this.
These were two very similar rounds from 100 Thieves and RRQ, but the difference comes in the util and team fighting. 100 Thieves utilizes the Phoenix Slash to go through the smoke, clearing close. And then as the Neon scales in with the Phoenix ult, they both fight the guy pillar at the same time, all the while a dart lands backside to scan the pillar guy. So despite Tex being able to kill Timotino and Asuna being delayed by the cage and the trip, Vora is actually able to trade with the ghost off of the scan. Then 100 Thieves trade out, fighting Verno, and then win the round from there. RRQ does a similar exec, but because they do not use Phoenix, they wall up early and use dart to clear close, meaning they lacked crucial util to help Zan clear the entire backside, and as such, Zan swings out and dies to an amazing Asuna flick, who then kills Jemkin before he is ready to fight. I propose that instead, Jemkin dashes out early to the right to clear close, and then him and Jan can swing out to kill whoever is there if someone is there, and then they can wall up like they normally do, except now they have a dart that can land backside like how 100 Thieves does. So Zan and Jemkin can easily kill or trade whoever is backside. Here is another clip of an excellently thought out side exec that fully utilizes Neon.
All the same places. Spikes in. Different note. TP up to heaven. Something dead and buried. Envy pop flash. You're going in alone. You absolute madman. It's still going to go forward.
One enemy remaining.
And yet it's all down to Divine now. There it is. Course correction immediately.
Spikes stuns B main to prevent a Paper Rex peek, and then he pauses to make sure he breaks the Skydog. Blows his eye lands at the same time as the Omen ult, so that anyone close right who goes to break the Omen ult gets scanned, such as with Envy. Then, with the Neon wall, Spikes is able to slide in, knowing that Envy is running away, meaning at most, he is fighting one guy. But with his slide and the Prowler, he gets a favorable fight, resulting in something's death. This concludes in a successful site take in which Lev convert the post plan. And here's some more Lev glaze, because they ran the exact same round just the round before, but they realized the eye didn't scan anyone despite there being too close, and that Spikes barely missed out on the timing to fight because the Skydog hit him, so instead it was a 5v5 retake that they lost. But the next round, as you guys saw, they recognized the two changes that they needed to make in Spikes waiting for the dog and the Omen ult to slow down the defenders running away and make the scan connect. Simply incredible how they're able to come up with that on the spot and instantly implement it. Both 100 Thieves and Lev are excellent teams who piloted Neon incredibly well to international victories, and even though you may not think of 100 Thieves truly as a Neon team, they are. They picked Neon in 66% of maps and had an 80% win rate with the Agent. All of their best maps, except for Ascent, ran the Agent. So if you think about it like that, all 3 international tournament winners have used Neon a lot, speaking to how broken she really is in the right hands. Hey, Val here. That was my second video, and thank you all so much for watching. Just to let you all know, for those of you who do make it all the way here, uploads will be a lot less frequent from now on because I'm gonna start being busy with other stuff. But regardless, I will try my best to upload semi-consistently, and thank you all so much for watching. Bye!